us another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, will you go away? It won't be as simple for you.
And welcome in today to the Play versus Rocket League KHSAA Championship Finals. I'm the Doxology. Alongside me is Caribou. Today we've got a 3 seed in the Rockets Gold Squad from Shelby County High School and the 4 seed, the Trinity Esports from Trinity High School, going head-to-head for this championship final. Caribou, these teams have really run the gauntlet through the brackets. You know, it's been a great season for both of them. Only one loss on the regular season for the Rockets Gold and one loss for Trinity Esports. So I'm looking to see a really, really good competition here.
I mean, yeah, the road to get here has virtually been identical. You talk about those lone losses they had in regular season. They even had identical series records, going 22-5 in the regular season. The only difference between them is Trinity took a couple of extra games to get to this grand finals in this best of 7, 12-3 in the playoffs to the 12-1 of the Rockets. So these two teams very evenly matched, very evenly paced, and should be a really good series on our hands.
One of the reasons why they had those extra 2 losses, though, is they already had to play. Trinity had to play the number 5 seed as well as the number 1 seed in the STX Tigers in the semifinals. So they were going up against that extra little seeding where the Rockets Gold, I think the highest seed that they had to face off was against the 6th seed in the, I want to say that's the GCHS Rockets that hung around there in the semifinals. But again, this is going to be a really good matchup. It's going to be a best of 7. So we've talked about it before. In a best of 7, you get kind of that cushion game to really feel out and warm up. And we've seen some teams drop that first game, make some corrections, mentally come back ready, and take the next 4 games as match number 1 is now ready to go. And we are about to see who has the ideal strategy in this first game.
When it comes down to strategy, it's a complete coin toss as to what's going to happen here, because as you said, this is kind of the game that will set the pace and set the tone for this series. But it doesn't actually mean that is going to be the tone, because teams have been able to adapt very quickly between a couple of games. The worst case scenario is you drop the first 3 and put yourself against a 3-0 wall where you have to then win every single game from there on out. But as fast as we've seen these teams adjusting to the other opponents, I can't expect that we're going to see anything crazy like that. We've only had 1 sweep out of a dozen of our competitions so far. It's probably not going to happen.
Probably not, as game number 1 now ready to go. 5 minutes left in this KHSAA Championship Final. You see the Rockets Gold in the white and Trinity Esports in the orange. You got Zanky, Bappa, and Dash for Trinity. And you've got Goombay, Yo-Yo, and Primal for the Rockets Gold. And really right now you just see a quick attack from Trinity Esports. Trinity came up really quick. Dash trying to get it. Zanky's able to clear it out. Now you almost saw a redirect from Dash along the board. Zanky keeps it in. 30 seconds already gone by in Caribou. I see a lot of rotations and honestly a lot of boost control from both these teams already.
Yeah, and on the attack, Trinity's been on this side of the field, been able to keep this pressure up because they've had a lot of this boost. I mean, you look at where Bappa and Dash both have over 50 at least. Zanky on the rotation back to go get more. Trinity's doing a really good job at just trying to outpace what the Rockets are doing on the defensive front.
1 minute already gone by. Game 1, you see a centered pass, but that's cleared out. That's a little floater. Can Goomba get it up into the back of the net? No, Yo-Yo comes in. No boost there as Bappa now works it along the boards. That gets bounced all the way to the opposite side. And honestly, between these two teams so far, we've seen a couple shots on goal, and that one drops into the back of the net. As you saw, looked like Zanky was in the goal, just maybe not enough to get up to it. You see him kind of just flip a little too far, too fast. But now, Rockets Gold strike first with a 1-goal lead.
They had a couple of different angles of opportunity there as well. Just couldn't quite get that last touch on, and finally are able to do so because, exactly as you said, Zanky a little overcommit on the backside, couldn't quite get in position, ends up overcommitting to try, and the defense, the respawn's not in time, and Bappa just can't get over to the other side.
3 minutes, 25 seconds remaining. Game 1, the Rockets on the attack. There was a defensive stop made by Bappa, and you see Dash has to get back quickly now, play this off the boards, but Yo-Yo right there to keep it in the attacking zone for the Rockets. Finally cleared out, Can they play it off the wall? Now Bappa along the corner. Just lets Primal, honestly, almost center it for him. Now Dash comes in. 0 boost for him. Zanky comes off the wall. And now Bappa with a little shot off the boards. Nowhere in sight. No shot on goal. You see Dash pick up that full boost into the corner. And now with 2:50 remaining in this game, I mean, both teams look very comfortable. A lot of boost for Trinity right now. And you see a lot of boost for the Rockets. Really both doing a great job on their rotations.
Yeah, Trinity's got a lot of really good foundation for, trying to play off of a double touch or play off of a center. And they've had a good crosses where, waiting the follow-up, like playing it off the wall and just passing it to the middle. But they just haven't had that secondary follow-up then to get the shot on. And, I mean, it's only a matter of time before they finally do get that 1-2 punch to connect. But for the time being, the pressure they're putting on the Rockets is something the Rockets are going to have to figure out and, try to get a clearance out of. But the fact the Rockets have a 1-0 lead here is at least their saving grace. Make it 2.
Make it 2 as Primal just puts it up and over the defender. You see him pick up that full boost right at midfield and then plays that perfectly with a little bit of English over Dash. Dash can't get aerial quick enough. And with 2:01 remaining in game number 1, the Rockets have a 2-goal lead.
And that's a thing that they seem to be just more than comfortable with, letting Trinity just do their thing on the other side, find an angle where they get a quick counterattack, and catch the defense snoozing, just looking the wrong way.
Zanky now with a shot that's going to go just high. You see Primal come up and knock it into the corner. Bappa has to play it off the wall. That shot is again high. But now we're starting to see a little bit more aggression from Trinity, and that may be exactly what they need to get a couple shots on goal and give them some opportunities, as that was a floater. Nobody was able to trail up with that, you kind of follow through on some of those. You get that quick rebound as that's a floater, and Umba knocks it off the top shelf. You see Zanky come in again. No real shots on goal necessarily. They've had a couple opportunities, but nobody's really lagged behind to get that rebound.
Yeah, the ball's just in position half a dozen times already in the last few minutes, like where it's just floating over the middle, but there's just nobody coming in from center to try to get the shot on. Dash and Bappa both had slight opportunities there, but they just end up firing a little wide and don't get a high velocity, accurate shot on, so it just ends up going to the wayside, and the possessions just end up fizzling out, and they're not getting anything from it. They got the pressure. They have everything but the goals.
As Yo-Yo drops it down, sleeper mode. You see him come up right on top of the goal, play that off the back tire with beautiful English. A little bouncer in. 42 seconds remaining in game 1, and the Rockets dropping 3 already.
Again, it's just they're answering back. Like, they're just able to get on the other side, on the attack very quickly. Their defense is holding up pretty solid on the other side because of how much time Trinity spent over here. Haven't given up any goals. It's a really good sign here for the Rocket squad coming out of game number 1.
Bappa plays it around midfield. Now we're into the final 16 seconds of gameplay. Can Bappa get a shot on goal? Just not enough boost. You saw him just run out at 0, and now Dash can't get back, and Primal drops another one into the back of the net. The Rockets lead by 4 with 10 seconds to go, and I mean, this game is definitely looking like it's going to go to the Rockets. But now for Trinity, how do you kind of respond to that and come back into game 2, really, is what we're going to start looking at.
They just got to focus more so on what's going on the offensive side. Like, they finally get one back off of the kickoff, and that's a great goal that a lot of people plan that one, just try to get the pinch off the wall, send it forward, and Zanky's already in the air, read that one perfectly. Defense can't get to it. That's a beautiful execution of a kickoff right there by Trinity. But the amount of time that they spent in the offensive zone and how many crosses and centers that they had and how many shots they didn't have is the concerning factor right now for Trinity. So clean that up and get some more shots on goal. And Trinity's going to be a lot better off. That's not going to be a 3-goal deficit by the end of the game.
Not at all. You see Yo-Yo, he's got so many shots on goal. But not only that, just the way that they moved throughout this whole entire game to take game 1, I felt like the Rockets really had great rotation. And then the one thing is they had those follow-up shots that really applied that extra pressure. we look at some of the replays and just how some of these goals were scored. I mean, a lot of them were just made possible by recognizing that the defense was out of position. This right here, Primal just comes up and drops it in over Dash. Dash can't get up high enough. And then this is an amazing goal as it just kind of floats in. Yo-Yo just following. He follows his own shot and says, look, I'm going to put it into the back of the net. So a big time win for them to start this series. I mean, it is a best of 7 series, Caribou. So we've got some time.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got some time to, you know, kind of make those course corrections. And that's what these teams have done all season long. That's one of the reasons why they got here. And of course, whoever wins this game, they're not only going to be high school state champions, they're also going to have an opportunity to go to the PlayVS Cup coming up next month. So they're going to have a couple weeks off, and then they're going to have the opportunity for the PlayVS Cup, which is any teams that were championship teams in the high school or youth championship, you know, that went on during the fall 2020 or the spring 2021 seasons. And they get to go head to head to determine a single champion across really all of the platforms. From PlayVS, you've got League of Legends, you've got Rocket League, you've got Fortnite. So I mean, this is a really big opportunity for these teams, and I expect to see Trinity to come back in game 2 and apply a little bit more pressure.
I mean, they've got all the ingredients that they need. They have everything right there at their fingertips. They just need that final execution, that final little sprinkle of some extra spice in there to be able to get what they need. Because 3 of the goals they gave up are minor defensive mistakes, just a little overcommit on that 3rd goal. The other 2 just caught looking the wrong direction. They get a good answer back on a kickoff. So, like, you have basically a 1-1 game if you just clean up your small defensive miscues. And the amount of time you spent in the offensive zone, all you have to do is just get that follow-up and get those rotations set. They're right there. They're on the edge of it, of getting this offense online. They just got to get the final touch.
And we've seen, you know, some of these shots just not quite drop. We saw one where Bappa had the, you know, open goal, just had 0 boost. So there was just not enough to get there. And that's something that we will definitely take a look at in game 2. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have that game 2 matchup here in this KHSAA championship final. Welcome back into the Play versus Rocket League KHSAA Championship Finals. I'm the Doxology. Alongside me is Caribou, and we've got a matchup for you between the 3 seed and the 4 seed. 4 seed Trinity Esports falling to the 3 seed, the Rockets Gold Squad in Game 1. It's a best of 7 series though, and we've got Game 2 right around this corner.
Yeah, I'm excited for what the Game 2 adjustments are going to be. We've talked about, just because you end up losing a game, you can very quickly bounce back. Trinity, we've talked about their offense was right on the precipice of getting some goals scored, and they almost do it again off the kickoff. That might be one of the most important ways that they are able to get goals because of just how many attempts they had miss on their traditional attack. But if they can get some pinches off the walls on kickoffs and get a goal scored consistently there, that's a good sign.
4:35 remaining in this Game 2. Trinity Esports in the orange. Rockets Gold is in the white. That's a long booming clear off Uma. That could have been dangerous as Dash now trying to clear it out for Trinity. You see Bappa played it along the side wall. A nice little double touch. Does he get the shot on goal? Good defense. Dash follows up. That's something we didn't see as much in Game 1 was the follow-up shots from these opportunities. As 4:05 remain, Zanky has to play it off the wall and try to clear it out with not a lot of boost. Dash comes in to help out with 0 boost to his name. Yo-Yo now with a shot on goal, met by Bappa. Now we see kind of this back and forth play, a big demo along the midfield wall, and another big demo as they're going for cars. They're not going for the ball.
So penalty coming out on that one. That's definitely going to be a yellow card. You got to play the ball. But let that one slide for the time being. Just a nice little 1-2 between the demos. Nothing really has come of this, but the Trinity defense have had a couple of situations where they're caught slightly out of rotation on the defensive side, and a little concerning because Rockets could very easily take advantage of that and get a shot on and get a goal scored very quickly.
Dash midfield uses all of his boost available, has to pick up just a tiny bit. Now he has to get back on rotation. You see Bappa play it off the wall as well. Good rotation by him. 3 minutes already gone by. Can he get the double touch? That goes straight down in, and Bappa with a beautiful double touch. I mean, he straight up just took it himself from midfield and played that perfectly.
That's the Tim the Tap Man special. Take it to the house, kid. He just rides that one all the way from front to back and able to control that one. Played off the double bounce. And you mentioned, a thing we did not see at all in Game 1 was the follow-up there. Bappa finally was able to get the own follow-up and go from there. But their defense still has to hold strong.
2:43 remaining in Game 2. Trinity working everything they can on the offensive side, really applying a lot more pressure here in this Game 2 after falling behind in Game 1. The Rockets lead this best of 7 series 1-0, but Trinity has done a good job. You see Dash get back on defense, good rotations, good response, and we've seen this before where a team will drop that first game and then respond very well in Game 2.
Quick adjustments like that, sometimes it's really all you need. Recognizing that there are small things that are going wrong and, some particular players just not having an on day with a facet of their gameplay. So you just make small changes, swap some players to the front, send one to the defense, and it seems to be working so far. The defense is holding strong here, and they've got the lone goal of the game.
Off the midfield wall, picks up that boost, went for another double touch. Here we go with a follow-up shot from Zanky. Now can Yo-Yo clear it out? No, Zanky keeps it in, but that gets bounced just a little bit wide. Dash goes for it. You see Dash using a lot of boost, as that's a beautiful shot, side shot from Primal. Holy.
Yeah, Dash pretty much just kind of laid that one right over to Primal, and Bappa could not get back in time. Zanky's rotating back from the other way. And Bappa's the primary person that should step up and challenge that and try to take a 50, get a deflection, but sort of just driving the wrong way. So can't do much more than watch that one go right on by.
Bappa now with a long booming shot. Primal has to go up for it to stop that potential goal. You see Umba come up with a little bit of a clear and then follows it up by getting that full boost. Tried to play off the ceiling. Missed just a little bit. Yo-Yo now, who's played very well in game 1. Haven't seen him too much in game 2. That shot's on goal, but Boppo with a heavenly save. Holy cow.
Almost snuck that one under the crossbar. And that would have been, I think, barred down enough to go in, but Primal's got the follow-up either way coming from the midfield. That's the type of play that you're looking to see Trinity execute and finish up on. It's a good center, a good cross, and then you have someone come in on the attack. Both the defenders out of position, and the Rockets are just pinpoint accuracy with these shots to get them away from the defenders.
Primal has done such a good job, as Boppa says, look, Primal, I can't have you on the same field as me right now. I'm just going to have to demo you so that we have a chance. Primal comes up again, clears that out. Boppa playing it off the wall in the corner. 33 seconds remaining in game 2. The Rockets with a 1-goal lead. We're in our final 30 seconds. Zenki, can he get it cleared out? Primal's right there. Umba also clears it right across. See how quickly the speed of these players will really push the envelope as far as once it's in that, attacking zone, how many touches, how many bumps, how many boosts can they use to get it either cleared out or pushed in. Final 5 seconds on the board. Can Boppo get a shot on goal? He does, but that's going to touch down. Can Dash get it into the air? Zeros across the board. Is it going to stay in the air? That's going to bounce off the wall. Zenki somehow just keeps it live, and now Primal touches it down. And game 2, a hard-fought game 2, will go to the Rockets, and they'll take a 2-0 lead in this best-of-7 series. You see a lot of saves on the side of the Trinity Esports team. A lot of saves where they didn't get as many shots on goal as we thought they did, but they were definitely in the attacking zone. And that's something that is, something to be looked at, because if you can get into the attacking zone but not get those shots on goal, you see this first shot by Boppa was just absolutely beautiful. But then moving forward, the Rockets and Primal answered so quick and so clean and turned it around. Really, the Rockets put up, 8 shots on goal really, really quick. So Caribou, this is where now the rubber meets the road. We've got to find out exactly the mental fortitude of Trinity and how they're going to respond.
I think their game 2 strategy was significantly better than whatever happened in game 1. I mean, they had the opportunities in game 1. They just got the execution in game 2. And then late defensive breakdown there was all that is what gave the Rockets the game. So it's like they're right there to kind of figure things out on both ends. They started to figure out the offensive side. And then when they were trying to do something a little extra, like they send their defense up a little too far for comfort, and that leaves something open on the backside. And with the demo here, demo there, just kind of lets the Rockets get a numbers advantage. So the Rockets have pretty much a decent idea of what they want to do, and I don't think they need to change anything, but Trinity's got to either figure out a way to lock down their defense a little bit more or put a little more commitment on their offensive improvement.
And game number 3 ready to go right here as Trinity Esports wants to get a game back in this. We'll see the Rockets and whether or not they can push this to a 3-0 lead. It's a best-of-7 series, so there's plenty of Rocket League to go. You see Boppa with a big demo right in front, and now Dash with a big demo in the goal line. Primal respawns and is able to get that semi-cleared out. Dash plays it off the boards, and now is where we want to see a little bit more of that physicality. Primal with some beautiful moves to just chip that up and over. Dash trying to clear it out. Yo-Yo comes in with a shot on goal. Is Boppa going to be able to clear it? He gets it up. That's a big-time save. Umba drops it in. Boppa there as well. Boppa's playing defense so well right now for Trinity.
And this is just an improvement that Trinity's had to make. A lot of these aerial plays around midfield and then towards their defensive zone, they just kind of have been missing and misreading where the ball is going. And that's giving a lot of these opportunities here to the Rockets. So the fact that they're starting to improve their reads on where this ball is going to land and how it's flying through the air is a great sign for Trinity to try to make this comeback.
See Dash try to stop at midfield, but Umba comes up and hits it pretty darn hard into the corner. Yo-Yo almost able to center it up for the Rockets. And now Zenki with a shot on goal. Ooh, that is a beautiful save by Primal. The ball is still up in that, just right in front of the box. I mean, you think about how dangerous it is to have that ball in the box like that without a shot on goal. I mean, the defense of the Rockets is incredible.
and they've done significantly well to stop virtually anything that the Trinity offense has developed. I mean, even when they have gotten the follow-ups and the secondary opportunities, the Rockets have just pretty much stood up and just decided that they're not going to give any more chances other than that, and then go on a counteroffensive. And that's where the Rockets have gotten a handful of their goals. And, with the success that you have on the defense that translated to offense is just quality of a really good Rocket League team.
Yo-Yo centers it. Bappa tries to clear it for Trinity. Now on the attack, Primal playing all the way in the corner. The Rockets really just patient. You see all 6 players all rotated back to their defensive zones, and all of them picked up a little bit of boost, but not full boost. And that tells me that they kind of feel comfortable and they got like a full mental reset.
Oh. The Rockets here on the attack. I mean, you see when they started that attack, they had about 150 boost between a couple players, and their third only had the 20 or 30 boost. And then they get down this side of the field, and they're taking the back boost from Trinity, which is worst case scenario for a defense, is when you don't have any of your full boost, because then the other team, the offense, is just going to outpace you, keep that ball moving faster than you can. You won't be able to keep up. You won't be able to rotate in time, and then you'll just eventually see a defensive breakdown.
You see a lot faster paced Trinity offense, though, on that quick turn and clear, as that is going to go just high. Can Dash get the rebound? No, he can't. Now Umba has to play it the other way. Bappa comes up, slows things down for Trinity. Zeros across the board with just 1:37 remaining in this game 3. So Trinity is doing something very right on the defensive side to keep, the potent offense of the Rockets out of the box and out of shots on goal, as that ball is floating in the box and just hits the top of the bar. No help from there. Is that going to be a open goal? It goes wide. Oh my goodness, that could have been extremely dangerous for Trinity, but instead it goes wide, and now Zenki tries to clear it out. Umba moves it into the corner, centers it to himself, but Bappa is there for Trinity. And now is kind of where you're going to get the sense of maybe not necessarily desperation, but maybe a little bit more attack from both of these teams, as we're under a minute remaining in this game 3.
Yeah, you give credit to the Trinity defense. I said they either got a lockdown defense on one side or just focus on the improvement of offense to try to outscore the Rockets. And it seems like the lockdown defense is the solution. And we all know defense wins championships. And the fact that you keep getting this many opportunities, not surprised at all to see a series with 2 teams as closely talented, as closely related, as close as everything has been for them to get to this finals. Comes down to a 0-0. It's going to be a 1-goal difference by the time this game's over.
And Zenki had a really good shot, but Yo-Yo met it in the back of the goal just to chip it out. It looked like it was halfway through before Yo-Yo got a handle on it. And now Dash with the shot on goal.
There it is.
With under 10 seconds. Dash coming in quick. I mean, there's got to be a reason his name is Dash, right?
And I thought and completely expected Zenki to be the one to do that, because Zenki was the one that was closer, but just couldn't quite get turned around and get the boost in time. But yeah, Dash just on a 100-meter dash from end to end gets that one. And why not get one more for insurance?
Why not?
Just off the goal, defense can't get there, so hey, we take those.
Just a little chip off the kickoff, and that, with the right English, you get a little help from the wall and it just bounces in like that with 5 seconds remaining, as Trinity has answered back in this game. We'll see if Bappa can just clear it out and let it touch down. Instead, he goes for another shot, zeros across the board, and that ball will eventually touch down, whether it's in the back of the net or not. Trinity will take this one. Can they get an insurance goal, or will the Rockets just try to keep something? Nope. Instead, that's going to touch down. And Trinity answers back in game 3 with a 2-0 win. I mean, that's a big time win, because you just talked about it. The defense needed to step up, and now holding a very strong offense of the Rockets to 0 goals. I mean, that's a big time response.
Yeah, being able to do that, to lock down the offense the Rockets have put together and finally get an answer back. And, looking at those couple of goals Dash was able to put on the board, and it wasn't much, but it was enough to get the job done. And, expected it just to be a singular goal is all you needed. Realistically, probably accurate that you only needed the one, but ends up getting a second one just because And that's kind of what Trinity needs to focus on. They got their defensive rotations down. They're able to slow down the Rockets' offense, and then they found a lone opportunity. Regardless how much time's on the clock, all they needed was one, and they took advantage.
They did indeed. And so now a best of 7 series. The Rockets lead this series 2-1. We're going into game 4. All of these teams, every player seems to be comfortable, seems to be warmed up, seems to be ready to go. But we haven't really necessarily seen a breakout star. We've seen Yo-Yo shine pretty well. We've seen Primal with some beautiful shots. We've seen Bappa from Trinity do a great job with the aerial control, and then Dash just coming in and reading the defense. So I'm really kind of looking forward to see in these last few games whether or not one of these players is going to just show up and show us that championship caliber of Rocket League. As game number 4 now underway, Dash takes that kickoff, and you see Zenki follow it up into the attacking zone. Trinity Esports, again, they're in the orange, the number 4 seed, facing the Rockets Gold Squad in the white, the 3 seed, for this KHSAA championship final. As Bappa comes up from top shelf, and exactly what I said before, his aerial control and just reading where that's going to rebound, playing it off the wall. Beautiful center, beautiful shot. 4:36 remaining in game 4, and Trinity already on the board with 1 goal.
Yeah, it just took them a couple of games before they finally get in sync and get on the same page, because that's a lot of the setup they had in game number 1 and game number 2, but they just couldn't quite get that execution of the follow-up. Bappa finally coming online here, finding a little cohesiveness on the offensive front, but the defensive little question mark is swing and a miss from virtually everybody on the Trinity side.
You see Primal come up and just take it off of Umba. I mean, when you look at just how that transpired, I mean, that was just a very quick bang bang play, but Umba was patient and just held that ball as immediately the Trinity Esports answers back, and Bappa says, look, that's going to go up. I'm going to get this midfield boost, come up over Yo-Yo, and just throw it down.
And Yo-Yo's got 80, 85 boost right there in that position. Just unfortunately is directly underneath where the ball is bouncing off the wall from, so there's just not much more Yo-Yo really can do to try to get up and contest and get a 50, and there's really no one else on the team that has any boost. So just good capitalization from Trinity. Be able to have this early lead here in this game. It's a great sign from them to try to even this out at 2-2, but 4 minutes is still so much time to play.
Yo-Yo comes in from the midfield. Bappa now clears it out. Can Primal clear it the other way? And now we see these long booming clears of possession as Umba follows it up. Primal misses the center. Zenki has to chip it to midfield and pick up some boost along the way, but doesn't get to it.
Good steal.
And Bappa can't get back. Primal with that shot on goal, just recognizing that as he spins around, you see him just skirt the brakes real quick, and Bappa can't get to that shot as a heads-up play from Primal ties things up 2-2 with 3:38 remaining.
Zenki just kind of going for a little push over towards the middle of the field and just trying to get a center off of that 50, and Primal just comes in and gets there and gets enough of the nose on it to send it towards the goal.
3:21 remaining. It would have been a very good shot on goal as well. Yo-Yo playing defense, picking up that extra boost. Bappa comes up, plays it off the wall. That's a little floater. Can Zenki get a shot on goal? That's going to go just high. Who's going to rebound that? Dash keeps it in the attacking zone. And see, now we see those rebound shots, Caribou. Those rebound shots, I feel like, are the most potent offense in Rocket League, is because the defense is already committed to that first shot. If they don't have the right rotation, they leave that goal open for somebody who lags or comes behind and gets that rebound with a shot on goal. I mean, we haven't seen too many of those from Trinity, and it's good to see them kind of get in rhythm here in this game 4.
Yeah, and it's, you know, those backboard shots are basically going to go one of two ways. Where you're going to get a double commit and you're going to have the opening there, or you're going to have the commitment, someone doesn't get back in the rotation, and then the person that's taking the shot, all they have to do is just be accurate enough to send the ball beyond wherever the defender can reach. And it's a good setup that the Trinity's got. They had a good start to it with Bappa and Dash, and I said there should have been a goal there, but little miscommunication where they both end up committing, and they're both virtually neck and neck flying through the air, so no one's there to get the rebound. And then they do it 4 or 5 more times, but they just can't get that final shot to go across that line.
151 remaining in game 4. We've got a tie game, 2 goals apiece. Trinity Esports and the Rockets Gold Squad playing for a state championship. I mean, what better way to finish out a year of esports than playing for a state championship? But not only that, the winner of this will go on to play that PlayVS Cup coming up in June. I mean, that's a chance where, you know, you're going against the best of the best. Anybody who's competed and been crowned champion in a high school or a youth championship league. .110 remaining. You see, it just kind of goes back and forth. Not too many shots on goal these last, as the defense is kind of rotated very well. And now Yo-Yo moves it into the attacking zone. Primal plays it along the corner of the wall. Dash tries to clear it, but Umba's there. That's a little floater. Can he control it? Met by Bappa. Yo-Yo throwing it up. Almost looked like it was just going to go wide, trying to keep it in the attacking zone. And now Dash uses the double bounce, picks up one of those midfield boosts, picks up 2 now.
This is just real back and forth between these two. I mean, no one's having any solidified possessions or getting any genuine opportunities here. And under 30 seconds to go, it's going to come down to, you know, who makes their first defensive breakdown, who gets caught out of rotation or on a double commit first. And it might be in regulation, it might be in extra time, but the way these two teams are playing, that's going to be the difference maker of this game. And this is a huge game for Trinity. They can't go down 3-1.
Final 5 seconds of gameplay. This ball is going to be live until it touches down. You see Umba just clear it out, and that does touch down, and we are into extra time here in Rocket League. A golden goal opportunity. First person to score will take this game. Can Trinity tie things up in this best of 7 series 2-2, or will the Rockets go into a 3-1 lead as they go into game 5?
Ooh.
Bappa coming in clutch. Game 4 will go to Trinity, and they will tie things up 2-2 in this best of 7 series. And Bappa is really controlling the pace of the offense for Trinity now. You see just how well he's played. Really, he's been that player for them that has showed up. He's got a lot of aerial control. He follows up his own shots. Good communication. Good, you know, just all around gameplay. We see him on defense as well here in some of these replays in Caribou. I mean, game 4 was exciting.
Yeah, it was a great back and forth game, you know, going down into extra time. And Bappa started out the same way, started out game number 3, getting the little double touch and get the goal scored off the backboard, and poetically ends the game in the same fashion in extra time. So, you know, seeing Bappa come through, get that hat trick. Zenki had 2 assists in the game as well. I mean, it was a great game from Trinity, and Rockets did everything that they needed to get the goal and get it close, you know, 2-2, and keep themselves in the game, in the mix. But ultimately, when it came down to it, the offense of Trinity, just so many times they've tried to set up those backboard double touches and tried to play off. Dash almost had the first one 8 seconds in, and then Bappa just comes in for the second to get the actual goal. But their offensive game plan is there. It's obvious. They know what they want to do. They keep doing the same thing over and over again, and it's working for them now.
Absolutely. Tied 2-2 in this best of 7. So now it's really just comes down to a best of 3. Who can take these next 2 games, you know, will really just determine that championship. So if it goes back and forth again, I mean, we're going to see that game 7, and those are just always the most fun is when you see the competition go all the way down to the wire between 2 deserving teams, a 3 and a 4 seed. They've each gone through their regular seasons. I mean, talk about games like being so equal. 22-5 on the regular season for both of these teams is pretty incredible, and really exciting that they both have met each other now in this championship final.
Yeah, just a really good matchup here on paper as to what these two teams have done and what they continue to do against each other in this series. I mean, the first game, there's always that singular outlier in a series where there's one scoreline that just sticks out more than anything else. And seemingly the way that it's gone in the last 3 games, it was game number 1 where it's a 4-1 score. And don't expect to see something so quote-unquote significantly lopsided anymore. Zenki finally getting in on the mix. Well, I think that might be the first goal scored by Zenki in this series. So good to start to see a little bit of inclusiveness of Zenki on the offense for goal scoring, not only in assists.
Yeah, Zenki actually got that first goal for Trinity in that game 1 4-1 loss. But Zenki coming through in the clutch as Trinity with a 1-goal lead, and that's a big shot on goal. But Zenki doing it on both sides. A big time save by Zenki coming out of the goal to make that stop. 4 minutes remain in game 5, and Trinity right now firing on all cylinders, applying pressure on the offense as well as the defense.
Just got to make sure their defense continues to stand because the Rockets are so quick to counter, and we've seen just what Primal can do. Just try and carry the ball through the air in those dribbles, and they've done just as well as Trinity has on the centers and on the passes, and just waiting for the moment to find the exploit in the Trinity defense, because everyone plays good, but not everybody plays perfect.
3:20 remaining in this game 5. You see Umba coming up all the way. The FRG Umba coming all the way from the midfield. He picks up that full midfield boost and just throws it down. And that's just a heads up play from the Rockets Gold Squad. When they see an opportunity, they bite on it. And that's something that Trinity, they don't always take those opportunities all the way to the house, or if they do, they don't have that follow-up or that shot on the goal the way that they want it to. And it's been very, very even throughout. The first game, was a 4-1 loss. For Trinity, that's a tough loss. But they've started really applying a lot more defensive pressure. And you look at game 2, a 2-1 game. You look at game 3, a 2-0 game. You look at game 4, 3-2 in extra time. I mean, it's really turned into neck and neck.
And that's exactly what you'd expect out of the series. I mean, top of the show, we talked that it's not going to be a 4-0 sweep, and certainly expect it to go the distance. And here we are, like you had mentioned, a best of 3 now. We're at 1-1 halfway through game 5. I mean, it's just theoretically as close as you could possibly get.
Primal puts it into the corner. Dash plays it off the wall. Now he follows it all the way through. Can he play it through? Yo-Yo with a big time save. Umba has to play it off the wall. Bappa comes up. Can he get the double touch?
Dunk.
He does.
There it is.
Oh my goodness. Bappa with such clean aerial movements. You see him come up for the double touch, stop using the boost, and then drill that sucker down with 2:08 remaining. Powerful offense from Trinity and a great job by Bappa.
Yeah, just being able to get that dunk and send it in. And on the other side, the defense, Dash still covering on the kickoff because everyone else is rotating back and trying to get themselves boost so they can start to set up their defense and offensive counter. So being able to do it all on both ends here. And again, a singular goal. It's not much, but in a series that is this close, it's enough.
1:42 remains in game 5. Best of 7 series, 2-2. Dash carrying it all the way through. Zenki comes up with that rebound shot as that just glances high. Yo-Yo now has to do something to clear it out for the Rockets. The Rockets experiencing a lot of pressure in their zone. They would love for this ball to get cleared out and give them a chance to go on the attack, but Bappa's right there. Primal now plays it up. Yo-Yo tries to get it clear, but Zenki comes back, gets the glance off Yo-Yo. You see how quickly things can change as Trinity now has a 3-1 lead with 1:16 remaining.
Yeah, and the rotations right there from Trinity were pristine. I mean, Bappa was completely out of boost about 15 seconds prior, had to full rotate back, goes to get the midfield boost, and then just play patiently, sit at home at midfield just in case the defensive clear comes out and is able to catch it, so there's no opportunity for a quick counter. And then the moment presents itself. Bappa goes to challenge the left wing, and is able to steal the ball, get him right up there. So the Trinity team is now, I mean, it took them a little bit to get there, a game and a half before they're all on the same page. But yeah, all cylinders now. This team is online.
45 seconds to go in this game 5. You see Dash, 0 boost, plays it off the wall. Zanky now follows it through. He gets a little double flip. Dash goes up for the redirect. That's just high, but Bapa's there for a rebound. And now Zanky retreating back on the rotation. Bapa just taps it to him so it can get cleared out. You see the 2 commit for the Rockets. That's a shot on goal, but Primal has to stay back, and he can't help out on that rotation. Now Bapa with another shot, and you see the pressure as we are under 15 seconds to go. Primal with a shot on goal. Zanky with some really Zanky defense in the goal. You see Goomba right there in the box with a shot on goal. We're talking the last few seconds of this game 5. That's going to be up. Is it going to be a shot on goal? Primal now wants it. Dash triple zeros across the board, so the ball just has to touch down. A great response by Trinity, and that was a powerful win. 3-1 victory. And talk about just the rotations of these teams and how it's changed. In the first few games, I felt like the Rockets had really good rotations, were able to come up and attack, but instead, these last few games, they've had to be on defense the whole time as Trinity has just thrown an onslaught of shots.
Yeah, they really have. And looking at, Zanky in this game, threw up 5 shots, got 2 of their 3 goals, had 2 assists in the last game. So really starting to come online on the offensive game plan. And I think from game 1, the adaptation they made, they were trying to do a lot of centers and passes from the outside in game number 1, and then it all became backboard, double touches, rebound shots, and they figured out what they got to do, and they're making it work for themselves very well. You said at the beginning of the show, it's sometimes you go down a game, you go down a couple of games, we've seen teams fire back and win 3 or 4 in a row out of the next 3. So that's right where we're at right now. They just took 3 games. Now they're on series point. Yeah, they are on series point. In a best of 7 series, they now lead 3-2 going into this championship game for Trinity. It's an elimination game for the Rockets, and they've got to find a way to respond against a team that's already played against the number 1 seed in this bracket and the number 5 seed and took both of them down. So Trinity really firing on all cylinders, but now you got to look at the Rockets and how are they going to respond to this being down in this series after going up. You think about it, you were up 2-0, and the mental fortitude it takes to kind of respond in this game. So game 6 now underway as you see Dash, Zanky, and Bapa trying to earn their way into this championship title. And the Rockets Gold Squad, they're just finding a way to stay alive and push it to a game 7. Dash playing it off the wall. Does he get the redirect? He doesn't, but Zanky is there for the rebound. That goes off the top bar. No help as Bapa can't get back. And that's just a long, booming, clear shot from Primal. You see Primal just gets enough of it right here. Bapa can't get aerial quick enough. And a big-time goal for the Rockets. 4:38 remaining. Again, we've got a lot of Rocket League to go, but that's a big goal to kind of slow down the offensive shots of Trinity. Yeah, and Bapa just released off the boost for half of a second, and that was just enough to let that ball continue to sail over the top and finally punish Trinity for trying to get their attack on as well as their offense has worked in the last few games. So being able to strike first is huge for the Rockets. See if they can force some more onto it, because we saw a few seconds of panic and breakdown at the end of the last game from the Trinity defense. So might be putting them a little bit on edge here, where the Rockets are now fighting back in this grueling series and trying not to lose 4 in a row to lose this one. And as close as it's been, I mean, there's still a ton of confidence on both sides that this could go either direction. Absolutely. 3:45 remaining as Dash waits to clear that. Very wise decision by Dash. You saw Yo-Yo just waiting for that little rebound so he could shoot it in. Instead, Dash decided to not use any boost and just kind of hold possession. 3:30 remaining in this game. Number 6 of the KHSAA Championship Finals. A booming shot. Bapa there to clear it. Yo-Yo was all the way in for it. A big demo along the boards right in the box. Zanky tries to clear it out. Umba keeps it in
the attacking zone. And now you see the Rockets really starting to find some rhythm on their attack. You see Yo-Yo keep it in. Zenki now playing it back. Bappa plays it off the wall. Primal has to clear it all the way out. Yo-Yo is there. Is he going to be able to meet it? No, Zenki chips it back into the corner. You think about how many of these players on rotation are getting back and communicating who has what shot next, because they don't want to give up anything, as Yo-Yo almost had an opportunity for a shot on goal. Umba now playing it off the wall. Can't get the rebound. Bappa goes up over Primal. He's got more boost. Can he get to it? That goes off the wall. He ends up getting pinched with 0 boost, and that stays on the attacking zone. You see Zenki playing it off the ground, a little bounce shot to kind of center it up for him. 2:22 remaining in game 6. The Rockets lead by 1, as that was a shot on goal. Great save. And now Dash with a shot. Primal is there to deny it. Zenki with another clear, trying to center it up and keep it in the attacking zone. You see Bappa pull that possession into the corner again. A lot of attack from Trinity with 2 minutes to go. As Zenki comes up, Yo-Yo has to make that stop. Another center by Bappa. Back and forth we go, Caribou. Back and forth with the centers, with the shots. Nobody with like a clean shot on goal. Most of it's been denied quickly by the defense, but a good rotation from both sides.
Yeah, they've both done a really good job to make sure that everything is covered on the defensive front and trying to find a way. I mean, they are playing disciplined as well, trying to find the angles. Zenki had a couple of really good clears, but only had about 15 boosts, so just could not follow that up. Was smart to just turn back around, go get some boost, and wait it out until the next attack's going to come. Now picking up the back boost here, Trinity in a position if they want to. You saw the bump in front of the goal, but now because of the bump, you completely take everybody out of the equation, and Primal gets an open road all the way to the other end. That's a full commit from Trinity to try to open the door to tie this game up, and they pay the price.
Primal with a heads-up goal, taking it all the way on that switch. 1:13 remains in Game 6, and it's looking like we might see a Game 7. Can the offense of Trinity, which we've seen become very potent in these last few games, a big-time demo as Dash pulls that out of the air midfield, can they respond with 2 goals in the next minute?
Certainly have what it takes to do so, especially because we've seen Trinity, if they get 1 goal, we've seen them twice already in the series get a goal off the kickoff. They get a pinch off the wall and then get the shot on. And Dash also had that lazy little bouncer over the top. So if they could get 1, they could also get 2. But now having to get 3 in 40 seconds, it's getting more and more challenging.
Primal going up over Zenki. Primal's done a phenomenal job on offense and defense of the Rockets. We haven't really seen him since game 2 or so on the offensive side, but now getting in the mix there. Another goal for Primal this game. 32 seconds remain as the Rockets goal pushing this into a 6.
There's 4.
There's another one by Yo-Yo. I mean, you talk about a little round the world over Zenki. Comes up, just takes it right off the wall, and throws it into the back of the net from midfield. 26 seconds remaining, and Yo-Yo, he hasn't been on the board since probably game 1 or 2. As that's a quick response. Everybody getting in the mix for the Rockets now. And now you kind of get that sense of going into like a series, you know, it's a best of 7 series. They kind of get that feeling like, okay, now our motivation, you know, now our momentum's there. Now we're going to push this to a game 7, and we're going to show up in game 7. So this could be an extremely high scoring game or an extreme low scoring game 7. As another big save, triple zeros across the board. That's going to touch down, and a very, very big Game 6 4-0 victory for the Rockets. I mean, Caribou, we've seen how quickly teams adjust, but that was a big-time adjustment for the Rockets to come back from very close games and now putting 4 and leaving Trinity with an egg.
Yeah, and that's a really good showing on your defensive side. And on the other side, we saw what Zenki was able to do last game with 5 shots, 2 goals. Primal did the same, except +1, 5 shots, 3 goals this game. So the Rockets offense really stepping up. It started out with that long clearance shot where Trinity caught just a little bit too far up. Primal continues to capitalize on the defense just not being there Trinity had a full commit the other side to try to get that one and tie this game up. And then after that, it's pretty much the feeling that all is lost for the Trinity side. So they just go ahead and, all right, we'll go next on this. That's another one that's kind of close to that outlier status where this series has been so close. A 4-0 scoreline, I don't think is a good reputation, or what's the word? Is that it?
It might be. I mean, that game one was a 4-1. It would have been a 4-0, but Zenki got that late goal for Trinity. So it's very, very close. Again, to see when the Rockets are firing, they're firing, as fast and as quick as any team we've seen so far. So going into this game 7, we could see shots on goal galore from each of these teams with the amount of pressure that they've been able to apply, or we could see this turn into a defensive battle where nothing falls and it turns into a 1-0 victory in extra time.
Yeah, and like you said, it's going to be it could be a high-scoring affair. It could just be that singular goal. But, I mean, the way that it's gone, the series now that we have used dictionary.com to figure out what word I'm trying to think of, has a reputation of defensive prowess. But a 4-0 scoreline is not a good representation of this series because of just how defensively focused this has been for a majority of this. And I expect to see a decent more of that. Trinity's objective obviously should be to clear up some of those defensive errors again. We saw some of the similar issues in game 1, game 2, but they were able to then win 3 in a row. Now in game 7, are they going to be able to take everything they've learned to a cumulative standpoint and take the championship here, or are the Rockets going to finally answer back?
See Yo-Yo coming up with a big shot after Primal centered it up perfectly. Can Umba center that? Instead, that's going to be bounced wide. Bappa now has to play it off the wall. Primal with the shot on goal. Big save by Dash coming through for Trinity. Already a minute 15 off the board in game 7, and it's 0-0. So this is a big-time defensive stand from both teams. We'll see if the Trinity Esports can get a couple shots on goal. We've already seen the Rockets apply some early pressure. 3:30 remaining in this game, and both teams just fighting so hard. They've done everything they can throughout their season to get here, and they're not going to go home without a fight.
The Rockets have already had a really good setup on this side where they, went back for a center pass and had a bump on the lone defender, but the Trinity Esports team really heads up, able to recognize what was happening. Yo-Yo was coming in from the midfield to get a strike on, and Trinity's defense bumps Yo-Yo, so Yo-Yo doesn't get the shot, doesn't have the opportunity at all. So able to dodge that one, get out of that by just being able to read the play that's happening. I'd like to see Trinity get back to their tried and true game plan of trying to these double touches, backboard shots. It seems like they're starting to try to go for a little more centers and clearances from the wings, and it just hasn't worked out for them in this series at all. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. Already half of this game gone by. Zeros across the board. We talked about it at the beginning of this game. We could see this being a high-scoring affair, or we could just see a low-scoring defensive battle, and so far the latter has been correct as Dash has to play it along the boards. That bounces up in the corner, and Zenki able to clear it for just a second, but Primal is there. Now Bappa has to clear it out. Primal was going in for the bump on Dash, but Dash kind of avoided that by dipping back into the goal. Umba with a shot that hits the top crossbar. Primal now, that's a floater. Can Umba get the rebound? That's centered up, but Dash is able to get midfield. He picks up that full boost, but Primal uses all of his boost to get that cleared back up to Yo-Yo. Now Bappa throws it back down. Umba from midfield. Back and forth we go like a tennis match. You get the feeling of an Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras type battle of tennis. And in the way that these two powerhouses just continually volley back and forth this entire field.
Yeah, and neither side giving anything to the other. I mean, they've had a couple of good saves, good opportunities, tried to find a demo, try to find a bump, but just neither side breaking down. Nobody's going to give an inch in this battle in a Game 7. It has been a grueling series from start to finish, and coming down to the last 60 seconds, still scoreless. This is right on par with what we've seen through the first 6.
Primal goes aerial right in front of the goal. Bappa is there to deny him. 1 minute remaining in Game 7. of this KHSAA championship final. Trinity Esports in the orange, Rockets Gold in the white. Who is going to score and take that lead to give their team the opportunity to be crowned champions?
Flip a coin. That's about the easiest way to guess right now, is because there's just no chance that you could guess as to which side's going to go better. They had an opportunity on Trinity's side, nearly, but a demo was able to save that one. Bappa finally is able to get that after a bounce and a deflection off a defender. Bappa just gets it on target enough. The framework with a little assist. Yo-Yo might have accidentally just given the series to Trinity.
Yo-Yo can't get the ball cleared as that just glances off the side wall, off Yo-Yo into the back of the net. 22 seconds remain, and Trinity has a 1-goal lead. Umba on the attack for the Rockets. Can they make some magic happen right here? See Dash carry that through. Yo-Yo is able to pick up the pace. Can Yo-Yo get a shot on goal? That goes up. That's a big-time demo right in front of the net. The zeros are going to hit right here, and there it was. Oh, Primal can't keep the ball up as Trinity, being down 2-0 in the best-of-7 series, responds so well, taking game 3, game 4, game 5, pushing it into a game 7 series as the Rockets responded in game 6. But in game 7, oh my gosh, a defensive battle left and right. This is our lone goal coming up right here as Bappa throws it. Yo-Yo right there, just can't. He was already in the air, so you can't recorrect. He can't double bounce out of the way. He just bounces that ball into the back of the net, and that's when you wish you had back. But congratulations to Trinity Esports from Trinity High School, the 4 seed, upsetting the number 3 seeds in the Rocket Gold squad. I mean, Caribou, that was an exciting championship.
Yeah, Trinity had a hell of a run from where they started to get through those top seeds, to get here to the championship game, to look at how they finished in this best of 7. You know, they faced off against that 1 seed and was able to get to this point. You know, they dropped a couple of games. It took them an extra couple of games to get here compared to the Rocket squad, but it doesn't matter how you got there as long as you deliver the product at the end. Trinity was able to do so, and it comes down to a singular goal off of a deflection of a defender. I really don't even think, if Yo-Yo wasn't there, that ball's still hovering on the line enough that you're going to have a follow-up offensive player come through to be able to punch it in. So Yo-Yo can't look at that one and feel bad about that as if it's explicitly their fault, because I think that ball's probably going in either way.
Either way, it was a phenomenal best of 7 series all the way down to the wire into game 7. Congratulations also to Rocket Gold Squad. Congratulations to them as they've done a phenomenal job. And again, a runner-up of the state champion is not something, you know, to be taken lightly. They will be back next year in this tournament for sure. And we'll probably see some of these players again along all levels of play versus. But congratulations to the number 4 seed, taking down the 1 seed, the 5 seed, and now the 3 seed to be your KHSAA champions in this play versus season. I mean, it's been a blast calling these teams, and it was a blast watching you guys play. And so thank you and congratulations again. They will be moving on now to the Play Versus Cup, which is the culmination of the scholastic year of esports excellence. All 2020 or 2021 fall and spring season high school and youth champions, they're going to be invited to go head-to-head in this really amazing championship of the Play Versus Cup to determine a sole single champion. And that's going to be a blast because that's going to be across League of Legends. That's going to be across Rocket League as well as Fortnite. So that's something that we have to look forward to, us as well as you have looked forward to in your own states, wherever they may be, to watch your favorite teams compete at a high level. That's going to do it from Play Versus. I'm the Doxology alongside me, Caribou, and thank you guys for watching. We will see you all next time.